Hello, welcome back to the 5th episode of the Hildibrand questline. Okay, let's go get the quest from Ellie. We will start off where we end in the last episode. Shades of Silly. Ellie would share with you a shocking new turn in the Phantom Thief case. I was wondering when you'd showed up, Ryan. I hope you haven't made any plans for the night, because we've got a situation on our hands. Remember our good friend the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder. If the rumors are to be believed, he claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Odan society. Mr. Many Faces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you hear me complaining, no. The only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the Mithril Eye's been selling like Ponzi cakes. The only rub is that it's left me no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Ryan? The hidden treasure of Oda, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it's you-know-who, to Sunsilk Tapestries. Murder, you say? Doesn't sound like the thief. It feels like someone is trying to frame him. Okay, let's go to here. The Aetheryte. Yep. Oh, Waimon. Okay. Hello. Well now, if you ain't my favorite venturer and my favorite Mithril Eye reporter along with him, tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I like to help 2 of my best mates, I'm afraid you found old Waimon at a loss. Oda has more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our Phantom Thief could be after just about any of them. I can tell you this much though, whatever the thief's got his eyes on, it's got the Sultan's Swan in the right litter. What has it that they form a regiment or their best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults from this very threat? The Sultan's Swan aren't like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Come on, Ryan. I say it's time we paid a visit to the heart of the Swan. Oi, hold up there, Ellie. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourself involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time, the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play a hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I'm ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Ryan. Time is of the essence. Sorry, Waimon. Okay, the Sultan's Swan means probably upstairs. Awfully quiet here today. Okay, Hustings Strips, yeah. Alchemist Guild. Oh there. Humphrey, hello Humphrey! Halt! Only authorized personnel are allowed in. The tall bugger me with a board sword is a gentleman of Light's adventuring companion and that catty but cute reporter from the Mithril Eye. Well, if it isn't the self-styled warrior of light, tell me, what tall tales did you spin to the Sultan Swan recruiter to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that gentleman of light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me to the depths of me soul, like, I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm just like my hero, Master Hildibrand. The Sultan Swan were impressed with my commitment and my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Wait, Don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildibrand on his investigation, haven't you? Cor, why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help the mates who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Phyllis. She's one of the Swan's best and something of a history buff, it seemed. When she heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Palladia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I can trust you not to touch anything, eh? There's nothing to touch here, Humphrey. Oh. A pleasure to meet you, Phyllis. My name is Ellie from the Mithril Eye. As you may have heard, we are researching the Phantom Thief case and would appreciate any information that might shed light on recent events. The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie, and if I'm not mistaken, that will make your companion friend here one Ryan Ashanra, yes? You know Ryan? I think a lot of people do. As any regular reader of the Mithril Eye would, I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist the investigation. Doubtless the inspector too will also welcome a helping hand. Ah, the elf. Yep. The Sultan Sworn, the elite of Uldar's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Braden, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, Ryan, a moment if you would. Right there, very good. Now face me and don't move an inch, huh? Inspector? What is that in your... Demasking Dusk. A formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analyzing the mask left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counter-agent that would dissolve the disguise whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. What? You are testing us? Brilliant, Inspector. The Phantom Thieves pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time. I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan Swan at your disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Uldar, the last of the 4 relics of Palladia. I fear not. I've poured through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it a little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Palladian heroes, but makes no mention as to their appearance or nature. 3 times we have tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times has he foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strengths. All artifacts of Palladian origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I have furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dusk, and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages. The blackguard will be in chains before we can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasures within. You have our word, my lady. Good. Can you use it powder on him? But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan Swan have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too occupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful for any assistance you could offer. A lady asks and a gentleman answers. Yep. There he is. Cast all worry from your heart, my lady. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dust that is the talk of the palace. But you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. Use it anyway. A shame that... Inspector Hildibrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far. The head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that, they were all influential figures in their respective circles. We can identify no common threads connecting the 3. Oh ho! This will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel? Gutted with a greatsword? Strangled with a supligar, mayhap? I'm afraid we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murderer plots the deaths of 2 more even as we speak. We must take action, and quickly. Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar-turned-butcher delivered to justice. Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildibrand. Friends, please take this demasking dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single sachet, but I trust you'll put it to good use. Thank you. Okay, now we talk to Hildibrand. Come to accompany me on my yet another case, friend. I like your gusto. But if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Ryan, my ever-loyal associate. I see, ever-loyal. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sins of Sasamo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associate. We must put Miss Phyllis's demasking dust to good use. Okay, where's that? Outside. Okay, this is... Okay. Let's be off. The Western Tanalan. Okay. Oh, it's just down here, okay. Okay. A flower? Flowers? Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. Sure. Just what do you think you're doing, eh? Who's that? I'm the one. What put those flowers there, eh? To honor the memory of me poor boy. Ye dare defile his memory, eh? 1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I'm Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. Ahem. As I was just saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean... Leave this place! Run away while you still can! Run far, far away! What? Run, or he'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor, poor boy. He got turned into a zombie? A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense. Not nonsense, my boy. History. Or have you not heard of the horrors of Sildi, a Oda's sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago? Much blood was shed by both sides, but I speak of far greater horrors than death. An unholy draught brewed by Sildin alchemists, one with the power to turn the living to the undead, and that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers. The traitors spurn! They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotten flesh and ran him through, but you won't hear that from the Sultan's swan. Tal alone knows why, but they whisked the body away before I could so much as pay me last respects. The traitors spurn? I've heard the stories, but I never thought them true, to be able to procure such a frightening thing. Just who are we dealing with here? A Sildin, I'm sure of it, only a Sildin would know the recipe. But the last remnants of Sildi died 4 centuries ago, you say. Hee hee ha hee hee, oh they did, hee hee ha hee ha hee ha. He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does, but did it ever occur to ye that he might be an honest-to-God's phantom, Heard the tales from my own great-great-grandma, I did, about the 4 relics of Baladia, and the powers they hold, the power to exact justice. A spectre of Sildi has returned to wreak vengeance on us. Woe, woe unto us all! Have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear boy, if only you'd become a trader like your father. If only you kept your nose out of those history books and never so much breathed the accursed name of Sildi. But you did, and now we're doomed, doomed, doom! Ah ha ha ha. Well, That bleeding horson's here somewhere. I can feel it in my follicles. The most potent hair tonic the realm has seen, that it was for all of a fortnight. Before my flowing locks fell out all over again. Oh no! And just as I was chatting up a lovely young lass at the quicksand, just to twist the knife an extra mountebank, charlatan, I'll find that so-called inspector and his sorry band and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls. You know we could make another one for you. You know that, right? Maybe? Okay, the next part. Sibling strife. Hildibrand is onto something, or at least he thinks he is. It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start, which is... Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. Ahem. Our phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of living and dead for nigh on centuries since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. You are just... You believe what that old lady is saying. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the spectre's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Okay, find out their grievance is a good idea, I suppose. Let's begin our search at the Thaumaturgist Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Sylvie might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need. You can count on me, Inspector Bryden. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. Okay. Okay. Thaumaturgist Guild. Actually pretty close to here. Just inside. Down here. Wait. Is this it? The Neko? Gods be good, you're the adventurer who saved me back at the ruins. Researching the ancient feud between Ulda and Sylvie, are you? Why, I'm pleased to say, I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, one must go back further still, to the birth of their mother nation, Baladia. The 5th Astral Era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. At this age of enlightenment would not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great floods of the 6th Umbral Calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused this catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to Tanalan, where they would found the nation of Baladia some 8 centuries agone. Imagine, a government of mages, by mages, and for mages. What wonders might have been wrought had Baladian civilization survived to this very day. Alas, this was not to be. Oh, I have to talk to several people. Okay. Hello, Erasmus. You don't say. It's not every day someone comes to our halls to research Sylvie. As a fellow student of history, though, I more than welcome the conversation. Baladian civilization flourished in relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two, forming the twin nations of Ulda and Sylvie. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry. Okay. Greetings, traveler. Would you learn of the war between Ulda and the fallen Sultanate of Sylvie? It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Ulda emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ulda's superior numbers, Sylvan alchemists devised a most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightful formula known as the Trader's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it that they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it, no? It is truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against these horrors. Indeed. And Kokobuki has one. Ryan, don't surprise me like that. What's this? You're here not for your studies, but to learn of the bad blood between Ulda and Sylvie? 2 scales, one of the gold and one of the silver. The gold of Oda weighing prosperity and power. The silver of Sildi weighing knowledge and power. But the power sought by the 2 nations differed greatly. Yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Odan prosperity was that of justice and good, while the power wrought by Sildin knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter, the histories are clear, but riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories, and what does this say of the words writ within? Yes, truth can be elusive and fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that the war against Sildi, Odan, and Amalja warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not, and neither did I, until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text buried deep in our archives. And yet, in the history read by the populace, you will see no mention of this most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone at some time deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But I've said enough already. It is true that in the history of mankind, even in real life, the history is often written by the winners, and our views are often twisted by how the people in power wants us to view the history. It is often not the truth. Just another fact for today. Okay, let's talk to Hildibrand. My ever-loyal associate, tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls? Indeed, as it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Baladia, giving rise to the sibling nations of Oda and Sildi. The 2 nations coexisted for some generations until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Oda's superior military might, Sildi employs their advanced alchemical knowledge to horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome undead legion. Yes, I believe I have it. The facts at hand have led me to one unassailable conclusion. Our phantom thief is a descendant of doomed Sildi, who seeks vengeance against those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sildin statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem, and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has brought. I'm not sure that's how it works. But the fact that the Phantom Thief may be Sildin is a good point. A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go find yourself a shovel and dig this statesman out of his grave yourself? Leaving aside this nonsense of spirits and spectres, it appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Sildi. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen sultanate. The Sildin connection would also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Baladian relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary? A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had a most frightened air about him. Wait, yes, it's coming to me, of course. My keen investigator senses ring out with a voice loud and clear. This man Miss Ellie speaks of just might know something. You really should stop thinking so hard. You're like to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man and where might we find him? My sources identified the man as Guguria, a traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit? Okay. Off to Horizon we go then. Hanalan. Yep. Okay. Oh, it's just here. Yes, if you got business, make it quick. My time's too valuable to waste chatting with every stranger who passes by. Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter with the Mitral Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing. You know the rest. I was wondering if we could trouble you with just a few questions. Was it for love or money that you killed them? Yes, you, the thief of many faces. Ah? Me? A thief? What nonsense is this? I don't know who you are, but I ain't got the time or the patience for this mummery. Now, if you'll excuse me, an important client awaits. I thought I recognized that voice. Ah, a wrong voice. Lady Dorilda, well met indeed. Pray tell, whatever brings you to these environs this fair morning? Why, I live here, you ham-headed half-wits. Inspector Braden, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Guguria, we can discuss business after. Pray lend the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires. The handsome one. Everyone has a different sense of beauty. Some might think he is pretty, some thinks he is pretty. Some thinks this is pretty. But Lady Dorilda, what about? Ah yes, my dear Maria's name day present. I have in mind one of the prize pieces from Ashtame's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Oda myself? I'll say it just once more, Guguria. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. Yes, even the stupid one. Help me regain something truly priceless. Yes, something more valuable than any mere trinket. Even the stupid one. Alright, I'll tell you what I know. But you didn't hear it from me, got it? I was looking into the killing on behalf of a client of mine. The thief got himself some of that zombie dust, the trader's sperm, was it? And his cards speak of the 5 victims. It got me thinking, Sildy. 5 victims, the arbiters of truth. The arbiters of truth, I'm not familiar with the name. Aye, if you would be, on account of them being something of a secret society and all. Influential personages of the Sultanate, you see, working from the shadows to keep false knowledge about the Soda-Sildi conflict from reaching the ears of folk like you and me. False knowledge, you say? False knowledge? Pray tell, just what sort of knowledge might that be? The house boss, don't make me say no more, I've got a family to feed. Very well, just tell us one last thing. Who hired you and where can we find him? Hop. His name's Hop. When he heard what I said, he told me that he was going to set sail for Limsa with his 5 best swell swords to guard his back. Oh, Hop is one of them. Say, there were many prying eyes at the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waiting for him at Vesta Bay. But remember, you didn't hear none of this from me. This man Hop must be one of the killer's targets. Doubtless he also knows the identity of the remaining one. I doubt that. They say the arbiters are so secretive they don't even know each other's true identities. Now, don't ask me how that all works, but Hop's got high-ranking friends in the brass blades. Once he heard the victims had been all zombified, he panicked. Guess he knew that he'd be next. Thank you very much, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Manderville art of parley has procured for us a key morsel of knowledge. Let us seek out this hob fellow and see what he can share with us, and let us hurry. The man's life is in danger even as we speak. Okay. I'm supposed to go to Vesper Bay. It's been a while since I went through these tunnels. Vesper Bay, there is a boat there that goes to Limsa. Oh. Oh? Thankfully, I did not take the skyway. Master Hob, is everything quite alright? No, stand back, Ellie. Oh. Hunger, I hunger for your brains. Oh no. Damn, there's no saving the man, Ryan. Do what you must. Oh no, I have to kill them? Oh, I don't need to kill them. Although to be fair, I have a bonking stake, so he might just be unconscious. Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tell me this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. 'Twould seem we were a few moments late to the scene. A message, and then there was one. Ooh. They were behind us. There it is again. Is something the matter, Inspector? Indeed, Nashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the Phantom Thief, I have this fleeting sense. A sense that someone or something is watching us. The thief might be close at hand. We should be careful. It's a ball guy. He is sensing the ball guy. For the moment, let's return and report our findings to Miss Phyllis. Secret society or no, knowing the identities of its members may yet lead us to the final victim. I too had best return to the Mithril Eye. Let us meet up again after. I'll see what new clues I can uncover in the meantime. You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone. Inspector, I'll go with her. If you insist, Nashu, then I give my leave. But pray be wary, not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite a temper, as we both know. Smack him, Ellie. Smack him. Miss Ellie, there is something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe, and promise me that you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when the fiend took aim at my own life. Your life, Inspect? Ah, at Costa del Sol. Yes, that was quite the ordeal, wasn't it? He likes her? I'll be careful, I promise. I eagerly await the day when I may hear what it is you would share with me. A secret vow? Oh ho! Consider my interest piqued as well, good Inspector. Now let us be off. Miss Phyllis awaits our report. Why are we all looking away? Like, oh, this feels very awkward. I was going to take the by air, but turned out going through the tunnels was the right idea. Okay. So should be the hustings strips, right? Yeah. Okay. Here. I am back. A fourth victim, Tal have mercy. Were you able to glean all of a connection to the other victims? The arbiters of truth. No, it cannot be. Somebody help! Ellie? Go, Braden! Miss Ellie, the voice came from the direction of the vault. We must hurry. Oh. Oh no. Miss Ellie, are you hurt? That man. I only thought to ask him a few questions. Before I knew what was happening, he was upon me. I could only... bash his brains with a conveniently placed bottle of meat, it would seem. Haha, remind me not to get on your bad side, Miss Ellie. That said, is Nashu not with you? She saw a figure lurking in the shadows and went off in pursuit before I could stop her. This man wears the armor of a Sultan Sworn squire, yet his face is unfamiliar to me. Something is amiss. Ah. As easy as that? The thief of many faces? To think he would find our man like this. Twice and again did the fiend elude our grasp, but no more. By virtue of a gentleman's ingenious deductions and a lady's pugilistic puissance, I declare this case closed. I return this sachet to you, Miss Phyllis. Whilst the gesture was appreciated, in the end it proved superfluous to my cracking of the case. I don't think so. Oh my god. While you're at it, is there anything else of immense value that you'd like to wantonly destroy? What? What is the meaning of this? Ingenious. A double disguise, planted by the thief to throw us off his trail, no doubt. This is Guigu, one of my most capable men. I assigned him to guard the vault, and outfitted him with an ample supply of demasking dust. It is inconceivable that the thief could so easily elude his grasp. Unless the thief was not wearing a mask. Speaking of which, has anyone seen Miss Ellie? No, that's impossible. Of course, it all makes perfect sense. With the Phantom Thief to thank for her burgeoning readership and rise through the ranks at the Mithril Eye, Miss Ellie could not bear to face the possibility of a story of a lifetime coming to an end. Thus, she hatched a plan to... Oh no. My lady, the vault has been breached. The wise man's whisper, it's gone. For her foul crimes against the Sultanate, I hereby declare Ellie of the Mithril Eye, the thief of many faces, an enemy of the state. Deploy all troops and do not rest until she is in custody. Have you ever considered that maybe that Ellie was wearing a mask? And now the game is truly afoot. Bah, what is the meaning of all this racket and rumpus? And just as we were about to make our triumphant return, isn't that so, Enkidu? Miss Ellie! Miss Ellie! That shadow you said you saw, I think it was just a dormouse. Oh no, Nashu. To think he literally stumbled face first onto the second mask. His good fortune truly knows no end. But not to worry, yes. I dare say the Phantom Thief has another trick or two up his sleeve. Wait, is Ellie? Ellie killed those people? No, it wouldn't be. Couldn't be. Like I said, I was saying that the Phantom Thief is not a murderer. Someone was impersonating the Phantom Thief. It couldn't be Miss Ellie. Beneath the mask, not even the shockingest turn of events will deter the famed agent of inquiry. My ever-loyal associate, we must find Miss Ellie, and quickly. Surely if confronted by her constant companions, she can still be convinced to abandon this fool plan. Oh, Miss Phyllis, I thought you had already departed in the company of your men, but all for the better. Shall we conduct the search together? I fear that will only put them at greater risk. You see, the fifth and final member of the Arbiters of Truth, the Phantom Thief's final target, is none other than... Hildibrand Manderville? No. Me, mind you. It's not a role I sought of my own accord. My name and my passion for history are somewhat well known in the Sultanate. One day, I received an anonymous letter, stating that the position in the committee had opened and I had been chosen to fill it. The letter went on to enumerate my duties, to prevent the spread of historical lies that would sully the name of our illustrious nation. As a high-ranking officer in the Sultan's Swan, I was deemed to be in particularly unique position to serve as an arbiter. I knew that there were other members of the organization, but was told nothing of their names or identities, to think that my unknown compatriots were the victims all along. I cannot put any more lives in danger. I will sequester myself in a place where my presence can cause no harm, until such time as the killer is apprehended. Come with us. Your concern for our well-being is most touching, Miss Phyllis, but there is no need for such caution. As a seasoned inspector, I am more than capable of protecting a lady in distress, and as a gentleman, that is exactly what I shall do. My associates here also stand at your side. Speaking of which, has anyone seen my loyal assistant? Inspector, over here! That's a fake one. Fake one! Ah, there you are, Nashu. You really shouldn't run off on your own like that. I was very sick about you. I'm sorry, Inspector. Miss Ellie said she saw somebody in the shadows, so I went to take a look. Now, there wasn't anything there but a dormouse, but it was a really cute dormouse, you see. It just kept squeaking and scurrying away and I just... Pardon me for a moment, Nashu. Yes, my inspector senses speak to me. Someone is watching us, Ryan. Let's split up and canvass our surroundings. It's right here in the open. But he could just be sensing the old man. The bald man. Water-stained letter. A water-stained letter lies conspicuously on the floor. Be wary and be warned. Oh. Is that from Gilgamesh? That's from Gilgamesh, isn't it? Trust no one, and your friends all the less. There's an item with this one. This will avail you well. Use it wisely. You obtain a sachet of demasking dusk. In the next instant, you feel an intimidating presence behind you. Gilgamesh?